When Deborah decided to come back and work in the studio with my subsequent trip coming back into David Krut Workshop, we decided to start revisiting the Las Meninas series that she had started. With the completed image of Reveal, there were 2 other plates that she had gotten started on that had never had the time to be completed. And the reason for revisiting a thought is, one, is to complete that thought because it had a lot of presence and impact for her creatively, and she really believed in what it was going to present to her audience and continuing the narrative that she had started with that initial print, as well as a series of techniques that she had started experimenting with, the way in which she was working with dry point and how she was reworking her aquatints and spit bite zones of her plates. And for us, from a technical perspective, we wanted to help her continue that exploration, so it made a lot of sense for us to start off this particular wave of collaboration and works, revisiting, completing a thought as well as a technical. And our initial focus here was to get the process rolling by revisiting a few plates, which helps get everybody's wheels turning, and then open that door towards approaching the prints in a more sculptural way. And for Deborah, what that really means is providing a different amount of air or space to the work. Deborah's sculptures will inhabit the environment they're in. They have a physical presence. They encourage the viewer to walk around them. The front of the sculpture does not belie what the back of the sculpture will be. And there's this natural curiosity that occurs, as well as a feeling of the viewer being able to be present within that space. So in a sense, she's inviting the viewer into the artwork when she's working on sculpture. Whereas in two-dimensional works like paintings or drawings, there is a noticeable position that the viewer has within their world and that the work has within its. Deborah has a very keen ability to invite the viewer to participate with her work, whether it be two-dimensional or three-dimensional, but her sculpture has a very different approach to how far into that world you come. And so our goal from a base experiential point of view was to make a work or a series of works during this collaborative trip that would capture that extra level of invitation that her sculpture has. And her process of utilization of dry point and specifics has a lot of reminiscence on how she works clay that she uses to cast her bronzes. There's this give and take. It's about the moving of material versus the removal of material. And so we're careful to stipulate that it's intaglio as a process and not etching, because etching as a process is about the removal, the permanent removal of material on a copper plate. Whereas the majority of techniques that Deborah is working with is the moving of metal, which makes it more malleable, which means a mark can come and a mark can go. It can be pushed into one place and it can be taken out of another.